So the owner of Man United, Jim Ratcliffe, came out with some disgraceful comments about immigration, saying, "We are being colonised."
If you really want to deal with the major issues of immigration, with people opting to take benefits rather than working for a living, if you want to deal with that, then you're going to have to do some things which are unpopular and show some courage.
And has this government done that?
No, I think they I don't know whether it's just the apparatus that hasn't allowed Keir to do it, or he's maybe too nice. He's a nice. I mean, I know Keir. He's a nice man. I like him, but it's a tough job, and I think you have to do some difficult things with the UK to get it back on track, because at the moment I don't think the economy is in a good. You can't afford. You can't have an economy with 9 million people on benefits, and huge levels of immigrants coming in. I mean, the UK is being colonised. It's costing too much money. It will cause. It'll cause. Well, yeah. The UK is being colonised by immigrants, really, isn't it? I mean, the population of the UK was 58 million in 2020. Now it's 70 million. That's 12 million people.
You met recently with Nigel Farage, didn't you?
I did.
Do you think that they would be a good government if they were to win the next election?
I think Nigel is an intelligent man, and I think he's got good intentions, but in a way you could say exactly the same about Keir when Keir came in. I think it needs somebody who's prepared to be unpopular for a period of time to get the big issues sorted out, would be my view.
Him saying, do you know what, it's unsustainable that we've got 9 million people on benefits. Do you know what's unsustainable? Tax avoiding wankers like you, right? The billionaires who own all the things that we love, whether it's football clubs, whether it's stuff we need like assets and housing. And these people don't pay any taxes. They are minted. When you've got billionaires like Ratcliffe saying, oh, the problem is people on benefits, it's just the classic punch down politics, right? Oh no, we need to focus on immigrants. Oh no, we need to focus those on benefits. Let's completely ignore the facts that inequality is at its highest we've ever had it, right? The 1%, the 0.1% own everything. No, just a handful of people own more wealth than the bottom half of humanity. These are the political and economic elite who rule over us, by the way. They're the problem. But he wants to say, oh, it's unsustainable. It's not good for the economy that we've got people on benefits. Your existence is bad for the economy. Your existence is ruining everyone's lives. And also, what are you talking about? Immigrants or people on benefits? Because you do realise that those on benefits are British people who are born in this country. Like, immigrants aren't on benefits. A lot of them are restricted to claim. There's not this huge amount of immigrants on benefits. I love the interview who said, well, you recently met with Nigel Farage, didn't you? And it's obviously exposing the grift. Ratcliffe is jumping on the reform bandwagon and he's pushing crazy claims about colonisation. Now, of course, the right wing have lapped this up, from Nigel Farage to Patrick Christie's to Rupert Lowe, and both Christie's and Lowe tweeted the exact same thing. Jim Ratcliffe is right. Well, actually, he's wrong. He claims that the population was 58 million in 2020. He's out by 10 million. The population was 68 million in 2020. That changes the entire context. This guy's a moron. So Lowe, Christie's and others who are saying he's right, no, he's objectively wrong. Now, the comments were that bad, I even found myself agreeing with Piers Morgan. Aside from his blatant lies, ignorance about UK population numbers, Ratcliffe is an ex-immigrant tax exile in Monaco, and most of his Manchester United team are immigrants to the UK. So he's a stinking race-baiting hypocrite. I'm surprised there's quite a strong tweet from Piers Morgan, but like that's how bad things have got. And a British person using the term colonised is fucking insane. I mean, immigrants coming here isn't colonisation. Going to other countries, forcibly taking over, stealing resources and using people as slaves, that's colonisation. That is what we did to the world. And as the brilliant Akala says, immigrants are simply following the wealth we stole. So to use the term is frankly, I think, fascist. And it suggests we are being replaced, which is sort of the wink, wink, nudge, nudge to the far-right Nazi conspiracy theory of the Great Replacement theory that we are being forcibly replaced by black and brown people. Ratcliffe is a billionaire, a tax-avoiding bastard. He doesn't even live in the UK. He's a resident in Monaco, again, for tax reasons. Zara Sultana took to Twitter and completely eviscerated him. A billionaire worth 17 billion who moved to Monaco to dodge 4 billion in tax is now blaming immigrants for Britain's problems. If parasitic billionaires like Jim Ratcliffe paid what they owe and politicians weren't in their pockets, our NHS, schools and public services wouldn't be on their knees. It is textbook divide and rule. The real enemy of the working class travels by private jet, not migrant dinghy. I love the aggression. I love the anger. That is what more politicians need to do. None of this milquetoast crap like, oh no, don't bash migrants. No, say, you're a fucking parasite. Because people like Jim Ratcliffe are fucking parasites. And Ratcliffe is lying about the pressure of immigrants. I mean, they contribute more than they take out. And that's been a well-known fact for years. You can't even claim ignorance. You can easily Google it and find the information. Ratcliffe knows what he's doing, by the way, because the rich have class solidarity. But we don't. People like Jim knowingly divide us so his class can continue to dominate. Yet the 99% continue to fall for it over and over again. Until we stop being paid, the rich will forever control us. But it looks like woke is back. He's now apologised. And this is why we need to hold the line. Attack people like Ratcliffe when they say this stuff. Now, looking on Twitter, right-wing commentators and GB News would have you believe they have the moderate position. They absolutely do not. There's a world out there that isn't Twitter, and Ratcliffe obviously felt the heat. The problem in society is rich fucks like Ratcliffe who take. They make money off other people's work and then hide their money to avoid taxes. They are the leeches in society. Do you think Ratcliffe really gives a shit about immigrants? Do you think he really cares about people on benefits? He's laughing. He's a multi-billionaire. The amount of people on benefits makes no difference to him. The amount of immigrants we have in this country makes no difference to him. So why does he talk about it? Because in order to protect his class, he has to distract us. That is why the corporate media, the print media, the press, whoever, always talk about immigrants. It's been the case for decades. And GB News does the same thing. It's immigrants, it's asylum seekers. Now, I'm not saying you can't talk about these things. You absolutely can. But when you talk about these things above everything else, that shows they don't care about these things. It's to stop people thinking about the top, the 1%, the 0.1%. Majority of people want the rich to pay more taxes. The majority of people in this country know we are being ruled by an economic elite. That's a view shared across all political parties. Overwhelming majority of people know that the rich elite make the policy decisions, not politicians. The big problem, though, is no one can agree on who the elite is. You've got right-wingers who say, oh, it's the, it's the university elites, the liberal elite. People like Matt Goodwin try and tell you that. And those of us on the left, like, no, we live under a capitalist system. Of course, it's the capitalists using capital to make themselves richer. It's the billionaires, right? To stop people having a revolution against this parasitic class, the media must always push different culture wars or talk about immigration. And someone like Jim is knowingly doing that. Because if we didn't talk about that, if we talked about people like Jim Ratcliffe and the fact that he pays no taxes all of the time, then things will change. And Ratcliffe wants to protect his position in society. He wants to protect him and his mates. And he sees his position under threat when the 99%, when the working class come together and realise this is a class issue and it's about the 1% ruling over us. So we have to be pushed with these attacks on immigrants all the time. And then in turn, people will vote for Reform, a party that wants to cut taxes for the rich, a Thatcherite party that believes in privatisation, who recently just attacked work-life balance. Never mind the Labour Party selling out to the corporations, and the Conservatives have always been the party of the corporations. Reform are no different. They're the party of the billionaires and corporations, and you're going to see an assault on the working class like you've never seen before if Reform win the next election. And guess what? Jim Ratcliffe will be happy. He will love it, because it means he can get even richer and protect his class and the way in which his class dominate society.